Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a wonderful morning today, and as you can see, I'm very much excited that you've actually tuned in to today's breakfast show, and I'm so much excited that you are here, that you've tuned in to the hot breakfast show. As you can see, today I'm alone, but my co-host will be joining me in later on in the show. But to start off, thank you so much for tuning in. And as you know, you guys, we love you so much, so much, because you take your time every single morning to actually tune into the hot breakfast show. My name is Masike Muto. This is Afarmers Media, where we do connect, learn, and grow as we tell the story of a farmer, a story at a day. Thank you so much, and don't forget, at the end of the day, is for us as farmers to attain knowledge and also grow our profits. And as we always say here at the Hot Breakfast Show, is don't be a comfortable farmer. Just learn every little thing that you can learn every single day. It's very important than just sitting and just waiting and assuming that you know everything, because every single day it's a learning day and it's a learning process, and farming is a journey by itself. And if you don't learn anything new, this means that you are stuck. And if you're stuck, this means you're not moving and you're not doing anything different. That's why we always insist that it's actually very important for you as a farmer to always learn everything, every single day, everything new. And this is Afarmers Media, where we do connect, learn, and grow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to find us or to find all of our previous show. We are at Afarmers Media on Facebook, Afarmers with a Z on Instagram, Twitter, and also on TikTok. That is at Afarmers. We are also on LinkedIn and also on YouTube. You can find us at Afarmers Media. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and as well hit that notification bell so that you can be notified once we go live. Thank you so much. Today we have an amazing topic that has been lined up for you and for us, because I'm also learning. See, I'm just there, I'm also learning, because as I say, every single day it's a learning day. And when we do research about all these topics, when we go and find out topics that we can discuss with you, we are also learning on our end. And it's very important that you also tune in and also watch our previous show in case you've just missed out on anything important. It's also very important. Thank you so much. Today I want to introduce our topic, which is production mistakes. The other day I was watching our farm drive show, and Brian Mwenda was talking about post-harvest mistakes and some of the important things to avoid that we will be looking at later on. But here on the breakfast show, we actually love looking at pre-production and production, the process of production itself, how it goes, what it entails, and how even things are done there. But before we head there, onto our roads today, we have an accident that has occurred opposite Spar Mall in Ruiru, involving a Lothian bus and a canter as you head towards Nairobi. That's on Thika Super Highway. So if you're approaching or if you're using that road, just approach with caution. Just be careful. It's an early morning, yes, but just be careful on your roads. Also, moving on, we have Mombasa Road is moving. Muthaiga took 5 lanes na bado kuna hopes tutafika tao. Someone is like, wait, what? Tukosha kweli tunafika tao? If that's in Muthaiga, there's a lot of traffic. Yes, the rain, then you remember how Mombasa Road is wearing out our tires. Okay, but it's a new road. I am not really understanding how it is wearing out the tires, but Mombasa Road right now is actually moving. The other day I was using Mombasa Road from Kitengela to town, and trust me, it was less than 40 minutes because there's no traffic, and it's just quite an improvement. Kiambu Road from Muthaiga is moving. It's moving, but the Muthaiga underpass, it's moving, but there's a lot of traffic, but it's slow but moving, yes. Kenyatta Avenue near GPO, there's an accident that has occurred there. So, yes, don't use Maimayu Road. We are in a parking and there's no turning. Wow. So if you are heading or you are planning on using Mayumayu Road this morning, please, you can use an alternative road, because people there are complaining that we are not even moving and you can't even turn around. Then we have once Langata Road is moving but slow. You don't have to go to Mlolongo, you just exit at the eastern and get back to Mombasa Road. So that's those for those who are using the eastern bypass on Mombasa Road. Yes, that's all we have on our road. That's what is happening on our road this morning. But it's also very, very important. Just when you're driving this morning, it's better you get late to your destination than just driving and just moving, because at the end of the day, your safety matters a lot, a lot. So while driving, just be cautious, drive slowly, take your time, no one is rushing you. Ensure you drive a roadworthy car. It's very, very important. Just check your car before you leave your house. Even if you are a matatu driver, you are a bus driver, you are a PSV vehicle driver, because just know at the end of the day, you are carrying more lives. If you are using a matatu, this means that you're carrying like 14 plus lives plus yourself. So just be cautious, be careful, consider those people that you are carrying, and be careful on your roads. Drive slowly but sure. That's what's happening on our roads this morning. The weather, there was a little bit of the heavy rains that's on way and Kino. People from Kino are saying that it is actually raining. Yes. So thank you so much. So far, so good. And we want to see how our weather looks today. How is it going to be? Are we going to be experiencing some rains? And how is it going to be this morning? So onto our roads. Oh, I'm sorry. Onto the weather updates this morning. We have Nairobi will be having sunny intervals with a little bit of thunderstorms in the eastern part of Nairobi. That is sunny intervals. We have Nakuru, which will be experiencing a little bit of rain. Marsabit will be very sunny, same to Mombasa, with sunny intervals of max up to 27 degrees Celsius. You also have Kisii. Kisii will be experiencing rain. That's the western part of this region. There's no unique weather today. A little bit. I'm wondering why it's very hot this morning. It was a little bit cold in the early mornings at around 6, but now it's a little bit. The weather has started changing. It's a little bit warmer compared to the way it was in the morning. Thank you so much. That's all we have for our weather updates. We are, as farmers, we're still praying that the rains will be here, at least our crops to grow or to perform better, because it's still the planting season is here. We have moved past it a little bit, but still some people have started maybe plowing and weeding, so you still need the rain because the plant has not fully matured. So we as farmers, we're just hoping that the rain will be here soon enough, just to save us and to ensure that our food security is on the safer side, because at the end of the day, what really matters is the food security. Onto our news. The country is still in mourning. The late Mzee Mwai Kibaki, the body viewing, which was happening yesterday, was finally happening yesterday. Yesterday was the third day. That was when all the people were supposed to have viewed the body by yesterday. But I saw somewhere that the people from Othaya, they were saying that they want to be given a chance for those who didn't manage to travel to Nairobi to be able to view the body. And we're just hoping that maybe they will see the body, or we don't know how their plans are, because the plans in Othaya, they are underway. And if you feel like traveling to Othaya, there's a very long extended weekend that is coming. You can travel, and we go to bury our late Mzee Mwai Kibaki. Thank you so much. And on to what is trending right now is Raila to share power with the chief minister. There is a very big dilemma in Kenya Kwanza and Azimio on who is going to deputize the deputy president, the current deputy president, that is William Samoei Ruto, and also the Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Amolo Odinga. There is still a dilemma on who is going to actually be the deputy president. The time in which they were given to ensure that they have a deputy was today, but it has been moved to, that is early next month, that is May. It has moved to 8th. That's when the final decision will be made on who will be the deputy for Azimio la Umoja and also the deputy for Kenya Kwanza. Yes. On to what also is trending is that the fuel outage is still ongoing, and The national oil company yesterday was wanted to actually import the oil directly, because the personal or the private companies are actually not selling out their oils, and people are still experiencing the fuel outage. And it's a problem that is happening mostly in the Kisii region, the Eldoret, and those western region areas, because I actually thought that problem is shakwa solved, and now people are actually complaining that there is no fuel, and just hoping that the problem will be resolved, because it's not only affecting those people who are using the road, but in one way or another it's affecting every Kenyan citizen, because for those people who go to work, who use the public means of transportation, even private means of transportation to work, you need oil. And for, let's say, for agricultural sector, to transport your goods to the market, you also need fuel. So it's a problem that cuts across, and it's actually affecting every individual, either directly or indirectly. And we are also praying that, and also hoping that the problem will be solved. That's all that is trending this morning. And onto our topic today, I'm saying that we are going to look at some of the production mistakes that we farmers make. We've been discussing about what to do, what are the challenges that are facing farmers, what a farmer is supposed to do, but there's some of the things that we actually do overlook, and we don't put a lot of focus there. And this is where these are some of the places, or these are some of the things that actually at the end of the day mess us in one way or another, because we might look it as a minor problem or a not so important problem. You might, okay, you know what, I'll just manage, or I'm going to handle this, so there's no need for me to maybe be keen on this particular thing, I'll just maneuver my way out. No, 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 it's very important, very, very important for you as a farmer to ensure that every little detail in farming is you consider. You just be sure on what you're doing. Just don't assume anything. Assumptions for farmers does not work so well. It does not go so well, and this is where the problem starts. Or as the English people say, this is where the rain starts beating us, because at the end of the day you'll just figure out, wait, what did I do wrong? Because I thought everything was in place, I thought I was there, I was doing everything right, but there's this small things that we tend to overlook. And it's so important that you just be keen, you as a farmer, be keen on what specifically you are doing and how you're going to manage your farm. Even in managing labor, that also entails production, because production is from the day you decide on what you're going to plant. If you're going to plant maize, okay, yes, I have the maize seeds. This all is the process of production, from just you acquiring the seeds, you planting the seeds, you plowing, you weeding, you applying pesticides, you applying fertilizers, until now when your goods or your produce in the farm are ready. That's just all around production. Production is not just mimea ishafika kwa shamba. No, it's a very, very process that starts with hiyo mimea kuingia kwa mchanga. That's when production actually starts. And it's very, very important that we be keen, we be observant. Observant is the best word to use. Just to be observant on how you're doing it. Like, just be particular on what you want. As we always say with farming, for you to get the best outcome, or for you to get everything correct, is for you starting backward, starting from the end. That's the end of the chain. That's where the market, you start from the market, you move backwards. This way you're going to get everything right, because you're going to oversee the problems that you might encounter on your way. And when you oversee the problems, you also find the solution, because you've overseen the problem. Then just starting here and saying that, okay, I'm going to try it out, and it goes how it goes. You're going to try it so many times, because you make a mistake at point A, you correct it. Moving to point B to point C, you make the same mistake, you correct it. This means that you actually not making any progress, because on this journey of yours, all you're doing is correcting mistakes. The mistake that you should actually have overseen before, corrected them before actually started doing this, or started planting a whole season. It's very important. Just go to the ground, go to the market, find how it's happening, how things are being done in the market, what people do want, how do they want it exactly, in what size, in what quantity, and in what quality. It's very, very, very important. As I told you, the farm drive show the other day, they were talking about post-harvest mistakes, mistakes that actually farmers make. There's this period between your crops are ready to go to the market, and them actually going to the market. And it's very important to watch that show. It's very educative. I learned a lot of things. You can actually go to YouTube at Afarmers Media and watch that show. And trust me when I say it's very educative, it is educative, because these are some of the things that we as farmers don't actually see them. We are like, or we actually see them, but we tend to ignore, or we tend to assume and be like everything is going just to be fine, and we're going to maneuver our way, or we're going to just get our way out of, which overlooking it's not important. It's very important for you as a farmer to be very keen. And some of the production mistakes that we farmers make, one of them, and the most important, the first one actually that starts on these mistakes that we as farmers do, is doing farming as an hobby and not a business. And we said it's not bad to do farming as an hobby. It's not bad. It's very, very much allowed, because me as a farmer, probably I want to do farming as a hobby. This is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy having my kitchen garden, planting my spinach, planting my coriander just outside my house, and I enjoy doing it. But if you're actually doing farming for you to be able probably to raise money, then you should not put it as an hobby. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. Don't do it thinking that because my mother did it, or my father did it, my grandparents did it, and they came out good, I'm also going to do it out good. No, you have to understand everything that entails farming as a business, what revolves around farming being a business by itself. Because if you're not going to be business minded in agriculture, this means that you're not going to be very careful on your financial management. You're not going to be very careful on your planning. You're not going to be very careful on everything that revolves around managing your farm, from labor to finances to how to store your goods. This is very important. You be business minded. Why? Because when I'm business minded, I know that money is involved in this particular season, and money is being involved. I'm going to invest my money, and I have to get this money one way or another. I have to get it back, because it's money I've invested. I have to not just get the exact amount that I invested, no, get profits, because as we said, farming, you have to attain profits, because it's an agribusiness by itself. That's why you just be business minded, just be business oriented, because this way you have a focus on one particular thing. Yes, I'm doing farming. Yes, I enjoy doing farming. Yes, farming is an art that I do enjoy doing. Yes, that's not the problem. The problem is it being an art and it being an activity that I enjoy doing. At the end of the day, I have to gain money from this art or from this activity that I'm actually doing. Or even if you feel like naming it as an hobby, yes, there's no problem. But name it as an hobby, being, and at the back of the mind, you know that it is a business that I'm actually doing, and it is a business that I have to get profits at the end of the day. It's very, very much important. The other day there was a farmer who was saying that she was saying that I actually planted tomatoes, and you know, when you do it as a hobby, you enjoy seeing them growing, of which it's very, very much allowed. Yes, you enjoy seeing them growing, yes, but you forget the fact that I have to ensure that I take care of these tomatoes and understand how they're going to go to the market. And this farmer actually did everything right, from the use of pesticides, from the planting, from soil testing. Everything was right, but now the problem comes in the timing. The timing was very wrong, in that the rains were here before she had harvested the tomatoes. And you know, the tomatoes, once they are ready to be harvested and the rains come here, they are somehow infected with the disease for tomatoes, for tomatoes. And when the rains are here, it affects them and it spreads quickly to almost all the tomatoes, and you can imagine the amount of loss that she underwent. So that's why it's very important, when you get to understand that this farming is a business, even your timing is good, because you know, okay, yes, I went to the market, this is how I found the market looks like, and this is what the market looks like. And it's important, before, even if you planted your crops, let's say for example I have maize in the farm, and I can even go a month before my maize are ready to be sold out. I go a month to the market and just survey the market, see how it looks like and how things are in the market. This way, when you come back, you might actually decide to like hold back your maize, store them correctly, and sell them later on, maybe in 3 months. This happens if you know how the market looks like. If it's if the demand is low and the supply is more, this means that you're going to sell at losses, because you're selling for the sake of selling. You're not selling to gain profit. That's why it's important, just go a month before your produce from the farm is ready. Just go to the market and find out how it looks like. Just survey it, find out how maybe even if you're using the brokers, just send them to the ground. See, you can actually even do it yourself. See how things are done in the market, how people are operating, and everything that involves it being a market, because farming is a business. So you have to find the market, how it looks like. That's just but a number of the mistakes that farmers are actually doing. We want to take a very short commercial break, but before we go, we have an amazing company. It's called the Giant Millers. It produces flour. The flour is called Kana maize flour. The packaging is awesome. The taste is awesome. Like, it's a very delicious meal that you can actually want to try and taste it out. And why I keep on advising for us as farmers to support or to actually buy this maize flour and get to taste it, it's because they are using maize that has been sourced locally from farmers. So this means that they come to you as a farmer. If you have your maize that you've not been able to sell out to the market and they buy it from you, they go and make with it flour. That's why it's very important for you to try maize Kana maize flour. It's found in a 500 grams, 1 kg, 2 kg, and 5 kg bag. And it's very, very important for you to try it out. And trust me, you won't regret. We want to take a short commercial break. Don't forget to engage in this conversation by commenting on our comment section down below at Afarmers Media on Facebook. You can DM us on Instagram. You can tweet. You can also even message us on TikTok. Any means of messaging that you feel that is very much comfortable with you, do it, and we'll be sure to hear from you. You can also call us on 0700293031, and we'll be glad to hear from you. This is the Farmers Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masi Kemunto. We'll be back shortly.
Pesticides can be very harmful to humans and environment if they're not properly handled. Safe handling of pesticides involves proper selection and careful handling during mixing and application. However, as useful as they are, they're inherently toxic. Here are some ways you can handle pesticides for your own safety, your farms, and the people around you.
We are looking at reduced accumulation of obsolete pest control products in the country as one. We are also looking at the associated conservation of environment and also protection, conservation of beneficial insects such as pollinators and predators, which are used to control other pests.
Before you use the pesticide, read the label and leaflet carefully. Measure the required quantity of pesticide.
You have to have adequate clean water for the mixing. Adequate meaning enough to dilute the pesticide and also enough to do the cleaning of the equipment and yourself after the application. During the mixing process, you are also supposed to be wearing your personal protective equipment or PPE, and this is to avoid exposure to the pesticides.
Applicators and handlers need to wear appropriate personal protective equipment specified on pesticide product labels by pictogram. In hot and humid climates, the wearing of additional protective clothing may be uncomfortable, and pesticides should therefore be applied during the cooler hours of the day. Care should be taken not to touch any part of the body with gloves while handling pesticides. Avoid spillage and prepare spray fluid in well-ventilated area. Do not eat, drink or smoke when handling pesticides. Check the spray equipment before use for any leakages and accurate delivery of spray solution. The nozzle should be directed to the side, away from the body. This prevents applicators walking into the spray cloud or recently sprayed foliage. Inspect equipment regularly for leaks. Leaking equipment should be repaired and the skin should be washed after any accidental contamination. While applying pesticides, be sure to follow application instructions precisely. More is not better. Unnecessary and/or incorrect application can result in exceedance of maximum residue levels, which can make the produce unmarketable.
All consumers want to eat safe food. So whenever there is an issue of what we call exceedance of pesticides, or what we call maximum residual levels of a particular pesticide, then what happens is that the market becomes very concerned, because they want to assure their consumers that they are eating safe food, which basically is healthy. And then what they will do is that they are going to discontinue the supply of the products that you're exporting.
In contrast, responsible and correct pesticide use following good agricultural practices protects the crop and keeps residues within acceptable limits required for sale. Incorrect application of pesticides can damage the crops and have a negative effect on human health and the environment.
The vision is basically to ensure that we can bring as many farmers to understand the importance of safe use of pesticides, to understand the institutions that are involved in regulation of pesticides, to understand that pesticides, when used well, will support production or increase production, and more importantly, the risks associated to the environment from pesticides.
Once you're finished applying the pesticides on target crops, empty the spray tank completely after spraying. Spray any remaining spray mix on the ground of the treated crop. Triple rinse and puncture the empty pesticide containers and place this in a safe place for disposal. Ask your supplier or agro dealer about a collection scheme. Clean the spray equipment immediately after use. Decontaminate protective clothing and footwear through following proper laundering or cleaning instructions. Wash the hands and body thoroughly with soap water. A sprayed field must be marked and unauthorized entry should be prevented. In case of suspected poisoning, please refer to the label for instructions and call the Poison Center on toll-free line indicated on the label. Report the specific pesticide used. Mishandling pesticides could have adverse effects on not only plants but also humans and the environment. Proper care and instructions should be adhered to always. Farmers are advised to attend available trainings on good agricultural practices and pesticide use within their counties to ensure safety while handling pesticides. Remember, proper usage of pesticides increases yields and market access for your produce. Food safety is everyone's responsibility, starting with the farmer. Dawa bora, mazao bora.
Amaranthus, or locally known as terere, is a highly nutritious vegetable that is cultivated and consumed as a leafy vegetable in many parts of the world. It's easy to grow, matures fast, as it takes an incredible shorter period than most traditional crops. There are many species of amaranthus, with some green and others red in color. When growing amaranthus, ensure the soil is well drained and rich in phosphorus, and most importantly, ensure the seeds are well distributed to achieve an even spread when establishing a grain amaranthus field. Amaranthus is especially loved for its tender leaves and for their healthy dose of ions, vitamins, and a range of minerals.